Good evening, live from this news center of the Sultanate of Oman Television. Here we present to you tonight's news bulletin. But first, the headlines. The COVID-19 Supreme Committee decides to issue a package of measures related to taxes on private sector and increase the penalties for violators for non-adherence on safety measures. The COVID-19 Supreme Committee expressed its strong resentment and many citizens and residents are not adhering to the precautionary measures. And the Ministry of Health announces 1,262 new confirmed cases of COVID-19, 6 deaths and 1,854 recoveries. Good evening once again, and thank you for joining us. Those were the headlines, and now the news in detail. The Supreme Committee dealing with the developments resulting from the spread of the coronavirus COVID-19 held a meeting this morning headed by His Excellency Sayyid Hamoud bin Faisal Al Busaidi, Minister of Interior, to follow up the developments of these pandemic measures to prevent it and ways to curb its spread and deal with its various effects. The committee has followed with great concern the escalation in the number of cases and deaths in various governorates of the Sultanate during the past few days due to the disease and express its strong dissatisfaction for the lack of commitment of many people to adhere to the precautionary controls set by the concerned authorities to prevent the spread of the virus among the community, which contributed to the transmission of infection to their families, relatives and colleagues in the workplace, in addition to the rest of the community. The committee reaffirmed the risk of this disease, the absence of vaccines to prevent it, and no medication to treat it yet, and the possibility that it causes many serious health complications that in many cases have led to the death of patients of all age categories. The committee also draws the attention of all to the fact that the spread of the disease has led to severe pressure on the services provided by the medical sector, especially the intensive care units, which may affect the services provided by this sector, whether to deal with patients with these diseases or other diseases, and to prevent the spread of the disease among more members of society, which may cause serious medical complications or more deaths, and to protect the medical sector and the great services it provides, and for everyone to bear its responsibilities. The committee decided to increase the penalties for violators as it confirms that it is proceeding to deal with it decisively in various ways that preserves the safety of individuals and society in general, and this may include publishing the names of the violators with their photos in various media means, with the aim to limit the economic impacts of the COVID-19 pandemic on the private sector and to reduce the financial implication to taxable companies and institutions. The committee decided a package of measures related to taxes for those companies and institutions, and the tax authority will announce the details at a later stage. The Minister of Health announced 1,262 new confirmed cases of COVID-19, which brings the total number registered in the Sultanate to 48,997, including 224 deaths. The Minister of Health stresses that 31,000 cases have been recovered. Back to work is a step of hope for the best to come. Here are the instructions that will protect you from coronavirus. Wear masks while leaving your house by following proper procedures. Keep a physical distance of at least 2 meters away from others. Follow the main hygienic procedures of washing or sanitizing hands from time to time. Avoid using elevators as much as possible, and if you have to use it, ensure a less number of people to guarantee physical distance from one another. The bankruptcy law issued by the Royal Decree number 53/2019 came into effect today. The law aims to enhance business environment and help companies to grow. More details in the following report.
Creating a legal and legislative framework to help businesses in distress, especially preventive and restructuring possibilities to continue their business ventures, are the most important mechanisms that the bankruptcy law seeks to achieve. The law includes a set of rules and provisions that regulate the declaration of the trader's bankruptcy and the preventive proceedings that may assist the trader debtor to overcome a financial and administrative disorder by way of settling the debtor's debts via a restructuring plan. The new bankruptcy law will promote investment in the Sultanate by helping to ensure transparency to both foreign and local investors. It will impact the working of companies by providing a base to seek a remedy in circumstances of bankruptcy, helping to provide more suitable conditions for companies to grow. The new law will also enable debtors the opportunity to rehabilitate by being given the chance to pay all due amounts and expenses owed to creditors. For the Sultanate of Oman Television, Saleh bin Khalfan al-Rahbi.
Director General of Customs at Royal Oman Police launched an initiative, Safe Custom Corridor. The initiative aims to link sea and air outlets, free zones and customs warehouses in order to facilitate trading and the movement of cargoes between the customs areas according to a number of standards. The customs corridors will be established between Duqm Port Special Economic Zone in Duqm, Salalah Port and Airport, as well as investment customs warehouses. The Ministry of Regional Municipalities and Water Resources signed an agreement with Oman LNG Development Foundation to finance the provision of outdoor equipment for children with disabilities in 19 parks. More details in the following report.
To finance the provision of outdoor equipment designed to suit children with disabilities, the Ministry of Regional Municipalities and Water Resources signed an agreement with Oman LNG Development Foundation.
We are glad and appreciate our partnership with the ministry, and today agreement is part of many agreements that we have signed in the past, but this one focusing especially for the people with disability. The initiative and the program is intended to support people with disabilities all over Oman. It will cover 19 parks, and we really look forward that this will benefit those people and also give a kind of place for them and their family, to practice.
Signing this agreement comes within the framework of the role played by the private sector to activate the aspects of social inclusion along with the public sector entities and to support and finance projects aimed to the welfare of the public.
This project will complement what we have done in the past and also will give access to people with disability all over Oman, as I said, in 19 areas and 19 parks. And we'll continue to support those initiatives, and also will continue to support and working side by side with the government to support their initiatives when it's come to CSR programs.
19 public parks will benefit from this project, namely in the wilayas of Al-Suwaiq, Saham, Al-Khabura and Shinas in North Al-Batina Governorate, in the wilayas of Wadi Al-Maawil and Barka in South Al-Batina Governorate, in the wilayas of Nizwa, Sama'il and Manah in Al-Dakhiliya Governorate, in the wilaya of Al-Buraymi in Al-Buraymi Governorate, in the wilayas of Ibri and Dank in Al-Dhahira Governorate, in the wilayas of Sur and Ja'lan Bani Buhassan in South Al-Sharqiyya Governorate, in the wilayas of Ibra and Al-Mudaybi in North Al-Sharqiyya Governorate, and in the wilayas of Madha, Khasab and Bukha in Musandam Governorate. For the Sultanate of Oman Television, Saleh bin Khalfan al-Rahbi.
You're watching the Sultanate of Oman Television, and yet to come in our news bulletin. Thailand rejects claims of animal abuse in coconut industry. Welcome back to the news from the Sultanate of Oman Television. The novel coronavirus has killed at least 538,326 people since the outbreak emerged in China last December. At least 11.65 million cases of coronavirus have been registered in 196 countries and territories. Of these, at least 6.12 million are now considered recovered. The United States is the worst hit country with 130,306 deaths from 2.94 million cases. After the U.S., the hardest hit countries are Brazil with 65,487 deaths, the United Kingdom 44,236 deaths, Italy 34,869, and Mexico with 31,119 deaths. Europe overall has 199,942 deaths from 2.75 million cases. Asia, 39,249 deaths from 1.5 million cases. Middle East, 18,370 deaths. And Africa, 11,672. The Iranian government announced today that 200 more people had died from the coronavirus in the country's highest single-day spike in deaths. The new figures released bring the country's overall death toll to 11,931. Speaking in Tehran, a spokesperson for the Iranian Health Ministry said the total number of detected cases of the virus in the country was 245,688. The government on Sunday instituted mandatory mask wearing as fears mounted over newly surging deaths, even as its public increasingly shrugs off the danger of the virus. North Korea today said it had no immediate intent to resume a dialogue with the United States as U.S. Deputy Secretary of State Stephen Biegun arrived in South Korea for discussions on stalled nuclear diplomacy. A military plane believed to be carrying the U.S. envoy landed at an American air base near Seoul. Another plane, a U.S. charter aircraft, was seen on the tarmac at the same time. The State Department said Biegun, who is also President Donald Trump's special representative for North Korea, would discuss cooperation on a range of issues in meeting this week with officials in South Korea and Japan, including the final fully verified denuclearization of North Korea. South Korea's call for renewed talks between Pyongyang and Washington has been dismissed by the North as nonsensical. Thailand has denied claims by animal rights campaigners that the country's coconut-picking monkeys, along popular tourist attractions, are being abused. Thailand's Commerce Minister rejected the allegations made by British campaign group PETA, People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals, and said that coconut harvesting by monkeys was not a major part of the industry. Thailand exported $395 million worth of coconut milk in 2019, including $71 million to the European Union and the UK. Monkeys tended to be used only to reach very high trees that would otherwise be out of reach. PETA said its campaign had led several major retail outlets to remove products from companies alleged to use Thai coconut harvested by monkeys. This is the Sultanate of Oman Television. Before we end tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. The The COVID-19 Supreme Committee decides to issue a package of measures related to taxes on private sector and increase the penalties for violators for non-adherence of safety measures. The COVID-19 Supreme Committee expresses its strong resentment as many citizens and residents are not adhering to the precautionary measures. And the Ministry of Health announces 1,262 new confirmed cases of COVID-19, 6 deaths and 1,854 recoveries. And before we end tonight's news, here is a special message from the news team. Fathers and mothers, brothers and sisters, sons and daughters, relatives and friends, together, let us strictly follow the precautionary measures. Failure to do so will hinder the fight against the virus. We must exert our efforts to limit the transmission of COVID-19 and eradicate it, so that our friends, our colleagues in the healthcare professionals can be released pressure from them, and so do the government in general. With that, we do conclude this news bulletin. Thank you for joining us, and good night.